Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Xcelerated Reviews, your destination for product reviews and unboxing. In this episode, we're going to be discussing the iPhone 5. Now, the iPhone 5 has certainly been out for a long time, and of course has been succeeded by the iPhone 5S and iPhone 6, which also have separate reviews for those. But I did want to cover the iPhone 5 because many individuals are upgrading to the iPhone 6, and they're actually now posting their iPhone 5 on Craigslist or eBay or Amazon. And in this case, many other individuals who have an older generation iPhone, maybe an iPhone 4, iPhone 4S, may wish to consider upgrading to an inexpensive iPhone 5. So with that said, let's take a look at the iPhone 5. Now in this particular case, this is an iPhone 5 with 16 gigs of storage, and it is actually in the black color. And one of the nice things is that the case actually matches the color of the phone itself. The case, nothing too special, very basic, but if you open it up, you do have the phone, of course, itself, and we're going to cover that in just a sec. But as most of the iPhones have, you have just a set of instructions, and they usually give you some stickers and so forth in there. We won't talk about that too much. Usually do include some headphones, and I actually went and took the headphones out of the plastic case. I really can't stand the case too much. And of course the charging port. Now, one of the things that I will note is that it's been my experience that the charging adapter can sometimes be specific to the iPhone that you're using. For example, if you get some of the newer iPhones and you try to use a charging adapter from a prior generation, it may or may not like that. So you have to try it and see. But anyway, that's of course included here. And the iPhone 5 introduced the Lightning connector. And basically you have a USB side which you can plug in to your standard PC or Mac, and this new Lightning cable here which allows you to insert it in either direction, which is really handy, makes it very convenient to attach. And of course it's also a little bit smaller. That's pretty much it included with the box. I mean, you're talking headphones, the charging adapter, lightning cable, some basic packaging, and the phone itself. I mean, that's pretty much it. So let's talk about the phone. Go ahead and get that unlocked here. And so basically the phone is very similar to the iPhone 5S, actually. They're virtually identical in my opinion. This particular model, which is in just a nice rich black color, and including in the back panel, the iPhone 5 did have a few challenges, and I want to go ahead and talk about those right now. For one, the battery. The iPhone 5 did have some cases where the battery would not hold a charge for very long. And in fact, even with this particular iPhone, that problem was definitely noticeable. It's so much so that Apple did announce a battery replacement program, and you can, if you do happen to have an iPhone 5 or do purchase one, definitely encourage you to take the serial number of the phone, which they give you instructions on how to find that, and check to see if it's part of that replacement program. You may be able to get Apple to help you out with that. Now, in this particular case, the iPhone battery, of course, was a problem. Another bit of news with the iPhone 5 was with the antenna reception and with sometimes having dropped calls. I will also state that in this particular example, no major issues with reception. but it was a little bit noticeable. But definitely the battery though was a problem. The actual processor and graphics capability was a nice step up from the iPhone 4S. And the other thing to note, of course, is this particular phone here already has iOS 8 loaded, which is the current version of the iPhone iOS at the time of this recording. And actually, it just does a just fine job. I mean, I'm going to have a bit of video from the phone itself spliced into this video, but basically, as you can see, it moves around just fine. Now, in terms of being able to play some of the more newer games, I would recommend more of an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6 for that. Those do tend to have even better graphics capability in terms of being able to play some of the newer games. But for the phone itself, the lock button is at the top, unlike the iPhone 6. The lightning adapter is at the base, and also you do have the headphone jack at the bottom. Some of the previous iPhones used to have that at the top. It's part of the change to put it at the bottom. Takes a little while getting used to, but it ends up being okay. Your standard buttons on the side for volume up and down, and for vibrate, no issues there. The picture quality on the camera is okay, but the iPhone 5S definitely did have a little bit of step up, I think, in terms of the picture quality. Now, that said, it's still a very fine phone. And if you are trying to upgrade from a prior generation iPhone, it can certainly be worth it. Since so many individuals are now upgrading from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 6, the aftermarket for these phones has been booming, and you can oftentimes see them being sold very inexpensively. So that's certainly an option for you. Now, of course, as with any of these presentations, we assume no legal or liability whatsoever, and of course, your buying decisions are up to you. That said, would I recommend getting an iPhone 5 to a friend? I think it's a good phone. But if you can spend a few more dollars for a 5S, then I think you might like it. The iPhone 5, compared to the 5S, does not feature the fingerprint scanner, though, candidly speaking, that's not a big deal killer to me. But the 5S and the 6 do feature, as I mentioned, better history with batteries, and also a little bit better CPU and graphics capability, so that was definitely a step up. So that said, I think that you'll find that it's still a very solid phone. In terms of weight, it's about the same as the 5S. It's very sturdy and in your hand, and it's not really slippery like the iPhone 6. It's a very solid feeling phone. Very usable, great phone indeed. Certainly, if you haven't considered checking one out, please do so. And if your budget allows, you may also want to consider an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6, which you can check those reviews out as well here on this channel. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Xcelerated Reviews channel or checked out Xceleratedreviews.com, I encourage you to take a moment and do so now. So I hope you enjoyed this brief unboxing and review of the iPhone 5. And if you have any questions, please send me an email at info@xceleratedreviews.com. Thank you very much.